Have you ever felt like you're in a constant tug-of-war for your own attention? Like your focus is being yanked in a million different directions by notifications, endless scrolling, and just everything? Well, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dive deep into why our brains get so easily hijacked in this digital age, and most importantly, what we can actually do to take back control.
And look, this isn't just a small annoyance. For a lot of people, it's a full-blown crisis. Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman talks about this all the time. He gets thousands of messages, especially from young men, who are just desperate, struggling with things like porn addiction. They all ask the same heartbreaking question: how in the world can I quit? This shows us it's not about a lack of willpower. It's about our brain's chemistry getting played by a world that's figured out all the cheat codes.
And that right there, that's the heart of the problem. We're going to call it the modern dopamine trap. See, the battle we're fighting isn't really against our own lack of discipline. We're up against an environment that has been perfectly, and I mean perfectly, engineered to grab our attention and never, ever let go.
To really get this, we need to understand a key concept: super-stimuli. It sounds complicated, but here's a simple way to think about it. Scientists did this experiment with stickleback fish. The male fish are wired to attack other males that have a red dot on their belly. But when the scientists showed them a fake fish with a bigger, brighter, more perfect red dot, one they never see in nature, the fish went absolutely ballistic. They preferred the fake one. Well, things like pornography, junk food, and social media, those are our giant flashing red dots. They're artificial versions of reality, cranked up to be way more appealing than the real thing.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got natural rewards. These things take time and effort, right? Building real relationships, eating whole foods, earning your success. Then on the right, you've got the super stimuli. It's the instant, super easy, hyper-addictive version that hijacks the exact same reward pathways in our brain, but without any of the real substance.
So how does this actually happen? Like, what is going on inside our heads on a biological level? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the neurochemistry of how your brain actually gets hooked. Okay, this is so important. We always hear that dopamine is the pleasure molecule, but that's not its main job. As Jordan Peterson explains, dopamine is really all about reinforcement. When you do something that gives you a big dopamine hit, your brain basically screams, "Whoa, that was awesome. Remember what you just did? And do it again." It literally strengthens and grows the neural pathways that led you to that behavior.
And this creates this incredibly powerful feedback loop. It goes like this. You engage with a super stimulus. Let's say you scroll through social media. Boom, you get a massive, unnatural dopamine spike. Your brain then reinforces that circuit, making it even more likely you'll do it again. But here's the kicker. Your brain adapts. The next time, it doesn't feel quite as good. So what happens? The craving gets stronger, and the compulsion to chase that original high just gets more and more intense.
And that is the trap. Eventually, the thing you used to do for fun becomes something you have to do just to feel okay, just to feel normal. The pleasure is gone, and all that's left is the compulsion. Your brain starts needing more, something newer, something more intense, just to get back to your baseline. It's this vicious cycle that leaves you feeling totally empty and out of control.
All right, so that's the problem. It's big, it's biological, and it's basically baked into the world we live in. But, and this is a big but, it is not hopeless. Not at all. So now, let's pivot. Let's talk about how to actually start breaking this cycle.
Let's start with the hard truth, the absolute non-negotiable first step. Andrew Huberman says it best, and he's blunt about it. The only way to reset that circuit is to stop. That's it. There's no fancy trick, no shortcut around it. To break that reinforcement loop, you have to starve it. You have to cut off the stimulus that's causing the problem in the first place.
But just stopping isn't about white-knuckling it and using brute force. It actually requires a huge shift in how you think about focus. I love this quote from entrepreneur Dan Martell. "Focus is a filter, not a muscle." See, it's not about trying harder or pushing through. It's about deciding consciously what you will and will not allow to pass through the filter of your attention. It's all about making clear choices.
So once you've got that new mindset locked in, we can start putting the pieces together. We can start building a focused life. This part is all about the practical, real-world tools you can use to protect that filter and point your energy where it actually counts. So where do you start? Well, counterintuitively, you start by deciding what you're not going to do. You need to create a not-to-do list. This is all about subtraction, not addition. What are the low-value tasks you can just drop? What are the bad habits? Who are the energy vampires in your life? Get rid of anything that's stopping you from winning, because what you say no to is often more important than what you say yes to.
All right, now here is a game changer. Start on hard mode. Forget all that advice about warming up with easy tasks to build momentum. That's just an illusion of progress. Instead, the very first thing you do in the morning, attack your single, most important, most difficult task for the day. When you nail that one thing, you build real, earned confidence that creates this amazing ripple effect for the rest of your day. Let's talk about a simple biohack for a second. This is one of the most powerful things you can do for your focus, and it's totally free. It's Andrew Huberman's morning sunlight protocol. Within an hour of waking up, just go outside and get 5 to 10 minutes of direct sunlight in your eyes. And yeah, that means no sunglasses and not through a window. This one simple thing helps set your body's internal clock, which makes you more alert during the day and helps you sleep better at night. It's amazing.
And if you want to protect your focus during the day, you have to remember this quote: burn it into your brain. Your inbox is nothing more than a public to-do list of other people's priorities on your time. You have to be hard to reach. Turn off the notifications. Schedule specific, short blocks of time to check your email. Your focus is your single most valuable asset. You have to guard it like a fortress.
Okay, so we've covered the science and we've covered the tactics, but there is one last piece to this puzzle, and honestly, it might be the most important one of all. We need to talk about the path to recovery.
So much of the time, the shame and isolation that come with these compulsive behaviors are the very things that keep us chained to them. There's a saying in recovery circles that is just so true: secrets keep us sick. Shame absolutely thrives in darkness and in silence. The second you bring a problem out into the light, you start to strip it of its power.
And that leads to maybe the most crucial point of this whole thing. You do not have to do this alone. In fact, you probably can't. The real path forward is through connection. It starts by just admitting to yourself that there's a problem. And then you talk to someone you trust, whether that's a good friend, a therapist, or a support group. Building a system of accountability and community is the absolute key to breaking free for good.
At the end of the day, reclaiming your focus isn't really about being more productive. It's about having the mental space and the energy to build the life you actually want to live. Your best work, your deepest relationships, your biggest dreams. All of it, it's waiting for you on the other side of focus. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what is the one thing you will do today to start finding them?